Good evening, you're watching Left, Right and Centre. I'm Vishnu Shom on the programme tonight. A day after the bridge collapse in Morbi in Gujarat, in which more than 134, because that's the latest number we are getting. Earlier it was believed to be 141, but more than 131 people, 135 people in fact, have been killed. The full extent of the horror is still becoming clear. There are still families out there looking for their near and dear ones. Dozens may still be missing. Some accounts suggest that perhaps that number could be even more than 100. We just don't know at this stage. But what we do know is this: at least 47 of those killed are children between the age of 2 and 18. As we start this program, let's bring you 5 serious, big questions that need to be asked and serious points that we want to raise. There was no fitness certificate given to this bridge after renovation took place. Why was this bridge therefore allowed to open? Why was the repair contract given to a watchmaker, a company called Oreva? Why were 550 people allowed on the bridge when the bridge capacity was 150? Who was responsible for crowd control at the bridge? Will the heads roll in the civic body, the administration and the government? These are key issues, but several questions unanswered at this stage. Not least of all, how was this bridge allowed to be renovated in the way that it was?
These boats that you see, was the last round of the naval boats, the divers of the Indian Navy, who have been continuously for the last 24 hours been at the job here at the Machu River. In fact, this was the last round that they took. The operations for the day have been called off. For the last many hours, nothing have been found. But what we have been told is that the Indian Navy divers are going to restart with the first light of the day, with the break of the first light of the day. Let me also, since yesterday, a lot of people were talking about, how did people actually sustain those injuries? How did people die? What happened? Did they drown? Where did they fall? Just about half an hour back, I was right on up there on this very beginning of that cable bridge, which now stands suspended like this, stands hanging like this, because one end of this wire has completely been broken. I'll ask my camera person Pawan to give you a sense. Look at this. These are the banks of the river, quite rocky, very, very hard. It is about 40 feet up where this bridge in fact was suspended. Once it broke, people on the corners of this bridge at 6:30 yesterday, when there was a huge crowd, 400 to 500 people, the people on the corner fell from that very height onto this very hard surface. Many of them sustained deadly injuries when they fell. Those who were in the middle, this river right now has been in fact since yesterday been drained quite a lot. There are motors working 24/7, but those who were in the middle, they fell into the river. Many of them fell on top of each other and lost consciousness, which resulted in them drowning in this river. More than 130 people, some accounts say 134, others still claiming 141 people have lost their lives. And the tragic part, and this is what I saw up there as well, where I was standing just a short while back, a shoe of a child not more than 2 years old was there, a reminder of this horrific tragedy, which is not an incident on itself. It is a man-made disaster where hard questions need to be asked. 47 children have lost their lives, aged between 2 to 18.
All right, lots of serious questions over there. My colleague Tanushri has been tracking the story non-stop since yesterday and joins us now. Tanushri, I think what a lot of people want to know, certainly journalists raised this in a press conference as well, is how is it that the top leadership of this company has not been arrested? Some of those who were arrested include security guards, right, who were supposed to manage the crowds over there, but the main people are still at large.
Absolutely, Vishnu, and that's a question we are continuously asking all the authorities, in fact the government officials and the police personnel as well, that how is it that a company which was given the contract of the repair work of this bridge, which is essentially, I will tell you, Vishnu, is a clock watchmaker company. Why was a contract given to a watchmaker company for a repair repair work of a public infrastructure bridge? That's one of the first questions. And now when heads have turned now, when action is being taken, it's being taken for against the the most lower rung members of that company. No big fish is even being touched, Vishnu, and we have been continuously asking this question, that accountability has to be pinged, and the people who have been arrested, I'm sure they have absolutely nothing to do. They were just doing their work, and they must have done their work properly. But these were the top officials who flouted rules, who did not follow the protocols, who did not take the certificate, the fitness certificate, which they should have taken from the municipal corporation. They did not take the NOC, and that is why a tragedy of this magnitude has happened. But Vishnu, I have someone with me who is the hero of the day. This was one of the persons, Vishnu, who who did not wait for the NDRF and SDRF teams to come and rescue. He himself jumped into the river and started rescuing. The incident happened at 6:30 p.m. and this gentleman here with me jumped into the river at 6:40 and he has saved many lives. The hospital nursing staff has also told me. आपका नाम क्या होगा बताइए?
जय हिंद, मेरा नाम खामड़िया जिग्नेश लालजी भाई है।
जिग्नेश जी, आपका शुक्रिया पहले मैं करना चाहूंगी एनडीटीवी के सभी दर्शकों के साथ में कि आपने रेस्क्यू टीम के आने का भी वेट नहीं किया और आपने खुद ही बचा लिया। कितने लोग वहां पे मौजूद थे, कितनी आपको शव या डेड बॉडीज दिखी, बताइए।
जैसे कि मैं आपको बताना चाहूंगा, जैसे कि मैं और मेरे लड़के जो ट्रेनिंग करके रूटीन मैं फ्री में आर्मी की सेवा देता हूँ ट्रेनिंग के लिए, तो इन लोगों को दौड़ा के मैं आ रहा था मयूरपुर से। मैंने देखा बहुत सी भीड़ देख रही है सामने। जैसे मेरी नजर झुलता पुल पे ऊपर पड़ी, वो आधा टूटा हुआ था। मैंने अपने लड़कों को बोला जितना पास दौड़ सको दौड़ो और जल्दी से पुल पे पहुंचो। पुल पे गए तो जो लड़के तैर सकते थे उनको मैंने बोला सीधा दौड़ो, कूद जाओ, और जो नहीं तैर सकते उसे बोला रस्सी फेंको। और मैं और ये मेरा लड़का दोनों जो ब्रिज टूटा हुआ है वहां क्रॉस करके नीचे गए।
कितनी जाने आप लोग बचा पाए, बता पाएंगे?
80 से 90 हम जान बचा पाएंगे।
80 से 90 जाने आपने बचाई हैं,
जिसमें छोटे लड़के और छोटी छोटी बच्चियां और लेडीज। जो जेंट्स नहीं, जेंट्स को हमने पहले लेडीज और बच्चे को बचाया, छोटे छोटे थे, और जो जेंट्स थे उसको हमने रस्सियां डाली जो पिछले वाला भाग था उधर से।
बहुत बड़ी बात है। आपका दोनों का मैं एनडीटीवी की तरफ से शुक्रिया करना चाहूंगी। विष्णु, वी हैव अनदर गेस्ट। दिस इज द नर्सिंग स्टाफ हु वाज हियर एट द हॉस्पिटल व्हेन अबाउट नियरली 40 चिल्ड्रन वर ब्रॉट डेड। मैम, आपने बताया था कि आप यहाँ पे मौजूद थे और ऐसा कैजुअलिटी आप लोगों ने कभी मोरबी अस्पताल में देखा ही नहीं है। कितने बच्चों को, कितनी महिलाओं को किस वक्त पे लाया गया, आप थोड़ा बताइए। मुझे भी नर्सिंग स्टाफ बता रहे थे कि करीब 40 तो बच्चे थे जो ब्रॉट डेड थे।
40-45 बच्चे थे जिन्हों को डेड बॉडी लेके आए थे, वो उसमें महिला भी थी कुछ।
डेड बॉडीज थी मैम, ये बहुत डिफिकल्ट सवाल है एंड आई एम वेरी सॉरी आई हैव टू आस्क यू दिस, बट इट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट। छोटे बच्चे जो थे तो बहुत खराब हालत में उनकी बॉडी
कंडीशन इतनी खराब थी, किसी का फेस भी अच्छे से नहीं दिख रहा था, वो फेस पे सब आ गया था, वो डेड बॉडी फूल गई थी, ऐसी सब कुछ थी।
तो आप लोगों ने कैसे हैंडल किया? डॉक्टर्स थे उस समय पे?
हाँ, डॉक्टर सब मौजूद थे वहाँ पे, सभी ने अच्छी ट्रीटमेंट की है, बहुत ज्यादा मेहनत की है। प्राइवेट के डॉक्टर, यहाँ के सभी डॉक्टर ने सभी बहुत मेहनत की है।
मैम, आपको भी बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया। सो विष्णु, यू नो दीज आर एक्चुअली द पीपल वी शुड बी अप्रिशिएटिंग, द पीपल वी शुड बी थैंकिंग, बिकॉज द नर्सिंग स्टाफ have been working non-stop for the last 24 hours. These were the people who did not wait for the rescue teams to come. They jumped into the river to save as many lives as possible, and the government should really reward these people. But the question we are continuing to ask the government officials, the municipal corporation, or the entire administration from the ground is that where were they when so many rules were being flouted under their noses? Where were the government authorities? Where were the entire administration when the bridge was reopened for public without giving a certificate, without having any NOC,
Sure.
so to speak, Vishnu? This kind of incident could have been averted if the government would have been a
And
little
Tanushri,
more
just
responsible.
one more
But
quick
right now,
question.
what we know so far, that 134 people are dead.
One more quick question. There is a real worry that dozens, if not more than 100 people are still missing. Is that number still accurate?
Well, that's right, Vishnu. What we are given to believe from the rescue teams who are, directly involved in the rescue missions. They told me, and these are the defense units, Vishnu, these are the units of Army and Navy, and they told us that they were given a figure of 122 bodies which were still trapped in the afternoon. And after that, about nearly, I think 4 to 5 more bodies were recovered. Then the rescue operations had to be stopped because it got dark.
Right.
So the rescue teams told us that still there are hundreds of people who are unaccounted for, and the rescue operation will resume from tomorrow morning. And let's see how many, where the death toll goes. We are hoping for the best, Vishnu, but the unfortunate bitter truth on the ground is that the death toll in all likelihood will rise.
All right. Tanushree, thank you very much. And that really is sad that many more bodies are possible. It's possible that they may be retrieved. Well, let's quickly take a look at some of the events of the day, from the hospitals to the rescue efforts to the retrieval of these bodies.
मेरे चाचा के 2 लड़के थे, उसकी बीवी थी, उसके दोनों भाई के 2 बच्चे थे, एक हमारी बहन थी, उसके 2 बच्चे थे, टोटल 8 आदमी थे। उसमें एक हमारा जो भाई था उसकी बीवी बच गई, बाकी 7 डेड हो गए।
कल वो लोग वहीं पुल पे गए हुए थे?
जी हाँ, हमारी बहन आई थी जामनगर से, उसको लेके घूमने गए थे।
47 of the over 130 people dead in the Morbi bridge collapse so far are children. For most, the transition from a relaxed Sunday outing to death took just a few seconds, as this suspension bridge, opened just days ago after months of renovation, collapsed. As the death count mounted through the night and early morning, uncontrollable sorrow and many numbed by the scale of the tragedy. 12 family members of BJP MP from nearby Rajkot, Mohan Bhai Kundaria, died in the bridge collapse. The MP had coordinated relief and rescue operations all night. At Morbi's government hospital, 3 kilometers away from the incident spot, survivors recounted the horror.
असमिन भाई, आप कल उस ब्रिज पे मौजूद थे जब ये दुर्घटना हुई? कितने बजे का समय रहा?
6:30 बजे।
और कितने लोग उस ब्रिज पे होंगे?
400 से 500 जना था।
400 से 500। आप मुझे, आपने टिकट कोई खरीदा था? आप मुझे दिखा पाएंगे टिकट कोई? तो ये वो टिकट है, मैं आपको दिखा दूं, ये अश्विन भाई हमें दिखा रहे हैं। 17 रुपए का ये टिकट है जो सभी लोगों को बेचा गया था, और इसमें ओरेवा का, आप इसमें देख सकते हैं, इसमें ओरेवा कंपनी का ब्रांडिंग भी आपको दिखेगा। आप कब से, आप यहीं पे बैठे हैं कल से?
हाँ, कल शाम से यहीं पे बैठे।
The bridge, a heritage structure originally constructed by the British, was recently renovated by the Gujarat-based Oriva Group, a watchmaker with no record of infrastructure projects, that got a 2 crore rupee bridge repair contract for unexplained reasons.
Since last night, teams of SDRF, NDRF, best swimmers and divers from the state were all rushed into the spot. In fact, all the units of defense, that the Army, Navy and the Air Force, were also rushed in, and they swung into action from last night. This incident happened at about 6:30 in the evening, when a cable bridge, which is right in front, just above the river Machu, it collapsed, and it was a cable bridge which was a historical bridge in Morbi in Gujarat.
With Tanushree Pandey and Ankit Tyagi, Bureau Report, NDTV.
Well, joining us now, Jaideep Bhai Patel. He was an eyewitness to what took place. M.M. Mehta, former Police Commissioner, Ahmedabad. Satish Thupelia, a leading structural and civil engineer. Ajay Umat, who's been following this along with all of us since yesterday, a group editor of the Ahmedabad Mirror. Dr. Ami Yaznik of the Congress and Asif Hamla of the BJP. Jaideep Bhai Patel, let me come to you first. जयदीप भाई, आप 6:30 बजे कल शाम को वहां थे, आपने क्या देखा?
हम 6:30 बजे ये हादसा हुआ है, हम लोग 6:49 पे वहीं पे थे जी। तो हम वहां गए तो जाने के लिए रास्ता नहीं था, तो बाजू में जो ये पुल है उसके बाजू में मच्छू माँ का टेम्पल है। वो टेम्पल के साइड में रास्ता वहां से चलकर हम वहां गए। जो ये ब्रिज नदी में गिरा था, वो उसके साथ हमारे साथ बहुत लोग 15-20 लोग भी थे, लोकल और लोकल फॉर्मल एमएलए कांति भाई अमृतिया थे, पुलिसमैन थे, और साथ हमने सबसे 50 से 60 लोग थे। उसके साथ सभी ने हमने रेस्क्यू का काम चालू किया। रेस्क्यू का ये काम चालू करके हमने 100 से 150 को जिंदा निकाला स्टार्टिंग में
जी।
हम लोग 2 से 2.5 घंटे तक वहाँ पे जो ये रेस्क्यू का काम कर रहे थे, और वहाँ पे जो भी छोटे छोटे बच्चे थे, लेडीज से, उससे सबसे पहले उसको निकाला। हमने पहले एक कॉरिडोर बनाया था कि जो ये ब्रिज नीचे गिर गया था, तो ब्रिज की में साइड में लोगों का कॉरिडोर बनाया था कि जो बॉडी निकलती है।
So green corridor as it was. Jaideep bhai, thanks. I just want to get a few more quick reactions. Mr. Dhupelia, as a leading engineer yourself, a civil engineer, somebody who's had experience as far as bridges are concerned, could any bridge of this size, irrespective of whether it was renovated or not renovated, given its age, actually have 500 odd people on board? Past videos seem to indicate there were people jumping on it. Not necessarily yesterday, but I mean, is that not a key issue? How this was, there were too many people on the bridge.
Yeah, hello. Good evening. My condolences to those people who died very unfortunately in this very, very tragic incident. And this bridge never was a tourist attraction. I remember having seen the bridge in 2006 or so in reference by local authority. And that time I had fully examined the entire bridge.
Yes.
I went all over the bridge, right and left and everything. The decking planks were fallen down. Thereafter, we were given a scheme to the local authority how to go about it. But thereafter, nothing happened for years. But I remember I have studied in the college there during my 1950s and 60s, late 50s, early 60s. Our college was established in the old Nazarbath Palace.
No, but sir, I'm asking you a very specific point, sir. Can this bridge take 500 people on it? Yes or no, sir?
No, it can't take. It cannot take.
All right. I just want to go across to Ajay Umat. Ajay, there are some people who are saying that we have finally seen the maximum number of casualties, that there are not very many bodies left to be retrieved. On the other hand, there are suggestions that there may be more than 100 still missing. What are you hearing?
Yeah, those experts who have reached there, they have apprehension that more than 100 people are missing, and rescue operations could not be completed because, late evening, so it would start again tomorrow. But I had spoken to some defense experts and those fire brigade officers who were involved there. As Vishnu, we were the first one. Yesterday in your channel only, we broke this news that, it did not have fitness certificate and it did not have...
Ajay, just to my point, just to my question, are there more than 100 people still missing? Yes or no, according to what you have been told?
Yes, I think more than 50-60 people are missing, and I want to correct your figure that 56 children died, not 47. 56 children died, and 40 graves were dug because many Muslims also died there.
And 56 children died, and this is going through the list which has been officially sort of...
I have got an official list which says 56 because it contains name, age, everything. And if you consider under 16, the list is 56. I have counted everything.
And Ajay, how many women
40 graves also they have done.
How many women have died?
More than 28.
More than 28. All right. Okay. I just want to get a quick reaction from Asif Bhamla. Mr. Bhamla, the people who've been arrested today, security guards, some local managers of this company. What about the local administration? Should they not have done more to prevent 500 odd people from getting onto this bridge?
Vishnu, firstly, let me submit that every life matters. It's a sad and a grief moment, and on behalf of the Bharatiya Janata Party, our Honorable Prime Minister has expressed a very, very, a very sympathetic condolence, a very emotional message has been sent across for all the people who have been affected in Morbi, and he will be visiting Morbi tomorrow. And while we are debating here, he is already busy with the meeting with the Honourable Chief Minister, the ministers, and the bureaucrats there, trying to resolve and look into this issue. Well, no one can deflect from the responsibility and accountability. Let me tell you also this, that 9 FIRs have been done, and this incident happened at 6:30, and in 2 hours there were 9 FIRs.
No, but sir, the owners of the company are still at large.
Vishnu, let me submit. And the FIRs slapped on section 304, 308.
Sir, the owners of this company are still at large. I'm just trying to ask you in a matter of justice. And this isn't, and shouldn't the owners be questioned first? Shouldn't they be detained first? Then how come they haven't? Then how come security guards, how come ticket sellers have been questioned and detained and not the owners of the company?
To analyze that, listen to me, in less than 2 hours, there were 55 ambulances that were there.
You're not answering my question.
No, and we still managed to save 180.
No, I know how many people were saved, sir. I know how many people managed to save themselves. We also know how many people died. We're talking about justice today, sir.
You don't let us submit. 185 people have been...
Not answering my question. Not answering my question, sir.
Now, let me tell you this. Anybody, I am very surprised at the politics that the opposition...
No, sir, you aren't answering the question. I'm not looking for politics over here. I'm looking for answers. I'm running short on time. 1 second, sir. Dr. Ami Yajnik.
We stood with each other.
Yes, of course. And that is laudable. We just did an interview of those people, sir.
We need to stand with them. We need to give them all support.
Yes. One moment, sir. 1 minute. I have to ask questions to others. Dr. Ami Yajnik, is that answer satisfactory? Could you bring down his audio for a moment, please? For half a second, sir, can I just request you to pause so that I can let the others come in as well? Dr. Ami Yajnik, is that answer at all satisfactory? Do you believe that accountability needs to extend beyond just the company?
Yes, the accountability is still not coming forth. This is a contract that has been awarded to a company. How has this contract been awarded? Was there a track record of the company? Was this company doing the business of maintenance of bridges or roads? Was this company, did it apply or by way of tender? Was there a tender floated by the government? Who is the signing authority on the other side apart from the company? There are to be 2 actors for in a contract. So who are these people from the administration? Who are the highest people who thought that this bridge needs repair, maintenance, and who is going to be awarded this? Okay. So what exercise went into this? What was the due diligence done by the government?
All right.
Now here we have a person who's speaking that the government did this, the ambulance reached. It is the duty of the government. The government has to save all the people, and that is not to be trumpeted so loudly.
We're ready for it.
All right, M.M. Mehta, former police commissioner of Ahmedabad. Sir, what I found, bizarre is that ticket sellers have been arrested. Security guards, I think 2 or 3 of them have been arrested. But is that where culpability actually ends? Shouldn't there have been district officials who allowed this to take place also being arrested? And if they are innocent, by all means release them. They go through the process. But why pick on the security guard at the bridge and the ticket seller? I mean, could these people have realistically stopped 500 people from getting onto that bridge without assistance from the police or the district magistrate, district officials?
You see, in my opinion, there are 3 issues involved. One is the agency selected for repair work was not competent enough. It should have been done carefully by a committee of government officials or even a few public men who are able to give their opinion. So that was the first mistake made. Second was administrative lapses.
Yes.
For many, the municipality did not see that the fitness certificate has not been issued, and the bridge was open to public
Right. And thirdly, sir?
The bridge was open to the people based on tickets. Tickets were, when it was fit, only for 140, 150 people.
And the numbers, in fact, went up
Many more people.
Several hundred. All right, look, I'm running out of time on this program. We've got a couple of reactions, but frankly, at this stage, so many more questions than answers. And it is our sincere hope that there are no more dead bodies which are found. But based on what we are hearing, what Ajay is hearing as well, that number could still rise. And that is a worst case scenario. Ajay, I want you to repeat that information you just shared with me. 56 children, is that right? We were reporting 48.
56 children. And Vishnu, the more, you know, the contract, if you study the contract between this management and Nagarpalika and collector, it says that, you know, they will do operations, maintenance, security, sanitation, payment collection, hiring and firing people, but there is no mention of safety. The safety aspect is not there. And another important aspect is that, you know,
that's clearly something that's fallen through. That's clearly something that has fallen through. Mr. Bhavla, I literally am out of time, but if you can, 20 seconds, go ahead.
No, let me tell you, the SIT has been established, and if heads needs to be rolled, even on the Morbi Nagarpalika, it will. It is just the beginning of the query.
All right.
Give us a little time and you will see the results. Our Honorable Prime Minister is certainly having his full infrastructure on this. So please don't just conclude this, you know, as done and over. So it's going to go on.
All right. So there will be justice.
People will be punished
and I think
penalized and justice will prevail.
Right.
Gujarat has been with the Bharatiya Janata Party, so we will definitely not let down the people of Gujarat.
All right.
Let me assure you this on this channel.
All right. Well, that's great to hear. Let's hope there is genuine justice. I'd like to thank you all very much for joining us. We're going to be keeping on tracking the story very, very closely from all of us here.